And you would think that losing a couple limbs would be enough before you wise up, but that's not the nature of addiction. I was one of those people who would not do shelters. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which was indulge my addictions. I didn't want nothing to do with you. January's in Denver, Colorado. You can imagine. The biggest thing about being on the street is don't get wet. You hang on to your gear. Several layers of clothing is mandatory. Socks are precious. If you're dry and cold and miserable, you'll be okay. You're going to survive. But if you get wet, it'll kill you. Capitol Hill was my stomping grounds, and a bar down there was my watering hole, and my gear got stolen. And it's February 26th, and so it's cold out, and it's getting ready to snow that night, and I lost my gear, and I got mad. I went to the liquor store, got loaded up on supplies, and went out to a park, found a piece of dry plywood to hide underneath, and took my shoes off, because at night, you gotta let your feet air out when you're on the street. At some point in time that night, I stuck my legs out from underneath the piece of plywood. Rain turned to snow, and that morning it dropped to 8 degrees. I could literally hear my ankles cracking when I first got up out of the campsite. Instead of calling an ambulance, I walked down to another liquor store. Whenever the pain got too much to handle, I would just drink until I would be in a blackout. I froze my legs off, a leg and a foot. I ended up in a nursing home for a couple of years. And when I got released from the nursing home, I eventually was granted my disability. I got a huge lump sum, and inside a year I was back on the street. Escape was my addiction, and it really was. Alcohol was my preferred choice, but I've had meth mouth, crack, started shooting up coke. In the nursing home I was on oxys. I didn't know what sobriety was for such a long time, and I was scared to go back, and it was pure insanity. Eventually, when I realized I'm back on the streets, I just said it had to stop. Yeah, it was sheer desperation that brought me to the New Life program. Denver Rescue Mission, the chaplains, they saw hope where there was no hope. I had to have that one thing that the New Life program can offer, and that was my relationship with Jesus Christ. Understanding that his work on the cross, when he said it was finished, it was finished. That forgiveness allows you to let go and move forward. One of the biggest hindrances to my addiction, I noticed looking back, was the guilt of not being there for my children, not being a husband, and so understanding his work, his finished work on the cross, broke that cycle. It's a miracle. I never got the chance to redo everything, but literally, Jesus Christ, in my relationship with him, stopped the desire, the craving, the need to escape whenever I'm feeling uncomfortable or anything like that. I can't imagine how incredibly hard that was for the chaplains to look at somebody like me and see hope. And it actually inspired me to endeavor to do the same, to give back. And right now, I am working at the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless in a program called the PATH program. The PATH program is a program to assist in the transition of homelessness. And my job basically is to navigate people who are homeless and on the streets until we can get them housing. The more I pour into people and try to give them hope and let them know that, hey, you are not only a child of God, but you are a beloved child of God. If I can give them that little glimmer of hope, it can just expand like it did in me and just completely transform you into the person that God is trying to make us to be. To all donors out there, I cannot possibly say thank you enough. The hope that the New Life program, Denver Rescue Mission, the chaplains there, they all made that possible. So thank you so much. Cannot thank you enough. My name is Nick Flint. I am a graduate of the New Life program at Denver Rescue Mission.